He's trying to eat my shell.
Guys, welcome back. We have a couple new friends that we just acquired, and we're working on naming them. They are Great Pyranees and Anatolian Shepherd mixes, so they're going to be guard dogs for our goats and sheep and stuff. So they're just puppies. They're going to get a lot bigger. They're going to be big dogs. And I kind of want to name them Maximus and Decimus, because those sound like good names for guard dogs, and we could call them Max and Dex for short. The kids want to name them Patch and Pirate, which are not bad names either, but they don't sound quite as ferocious for guard dogs. So we got to vote. You got to leave a comment, tell us Patch and Pirate or Maximus and Decimus. That way we can decide.
Who, Daddy?
I need to build the pups a doghouse, but I've been scouring around and I just don't have all the materials sitting around to build what I want. So tomorrow we'll run into town, get some materials, and build a doghouse for them. Well, it is another morning. I've gotten me some wood now. So we got some treated 2x4s, some treated 4x4s. Then I'm going to use some rough sawn cedar for the rest of it. And we're going to build us a doghouse for the puppies. Because, I don't know, I feel like they need a doghouse. They might not even use it, but I'm going to build them one anyway. So I've been making some rough measurements and calculations, and I've even got me a little drawing on a piece of cardboard over here. And we're going to see how well we can make all this work out if we can't build a doghouse. All right, so we're going to start by building our floor. So we're just going to we're going to do it 49 by 45. So 49 and a half by 45. 49 and a half by 45 is going to be the size of our floor. And the reason for that is with those dimensions, it'll work out with my rough sawn cedar, which is 4.5 inches width, that I can use exact boards and not have to change any of those around. So I'm not doing an exact square to make those boards fit easier. So we're going to be doing 49 and a half by 45. So we need 2 boards. We got to decide which ones are going to be our long sides. We're going to do 2 boards at 49 and a half, and then the other ones we need 45, but they're going to be butted up against the other, so we have to subtract the thickness of our 2x4, 2 of them, so we got to subtract 3 inches. So we're going to do 2 at 49.5, and then we're going to do 2 at 42, and then that'll give us 45 once we put it together. About to make some noise.
Hey, Daddy. Yep, you did.
Nailed it. We're also going to need 2. Actually end up with a couple more, but we're going to start out with 2 at 42. Alright, so we got our basic square-ish, it's not actually a square, but our basic floor shape. I'm going to put one more cross piece in the middle to support the floor, because this will have a floor on it. That way they're up off the ground a little bit, and one more will be good enough. That'll be roughly a 24-inch center, so it'll be good enough for a doghouse.
What do you think, Di?
Alright, next thing we're going to do is take this 4x4 treated post. This is going to be our corners. We're going to have one of these in each corner, and then this will hold the floor up off the ground so it's not sitting on the ground. And this, we're just going to do a single slope roof. We're not going to do like a peak, we're just going to do a slope because that's just easy. So I'm going to do, this is an 8-foot post, so we're going to do 3.5 foot and 4.5 foot. That'll give us a foot of drop from front to back. So we're going to do 42 inches. And then we're going to cut them at an angle, which I think is about 15 degrees roughly. If it's a little bit off, it's a little bit off. Watch out. Now we're going to take our 4 corners, fasten them to our floor platform, and see where we come out on that. See if our angles are right. We're close. Somewhat straight. Alright, we got all 4 corners on, and it looks like our angles are pretty close. They might not be perfect, but they're not bad. For me, briefly throwing a drawing out, handing it to Sarah, who's the math person, and saying, can you figure out this angle? Because I don't like spending time to figure them out. Then she figured it out. Then I changed my measurements slightly. Then I guesstimated how much that would change the angle. and I went with that. It turned out pretty good. All right, now we got to build kind of a frame like this, but to go around the top, and then that'll hold up our roof. All right, this is all framed up. So the next step is going to be to put our floor in it. We're gonna be using this piece of, I think it's 3/4 treated, something I had sitting around for a while. It's not even a full sheet of plywood. So I'm gonna have to do the floor in 2 pieces, but I'll put the seam right on that cross piece in there because I don't have a big enough piece of plywood to do it all in one piece, but this will work. So we're gonna rip this down into a couple pieces and get it fastened down. All right, the boys got all that screwed down. I drilled pilot holes for them. It makes it a lot easier to kind of get the hang of getting screws in, especially going through plywood because screws don't bite into plywood real good. So I also set up my planer. So this, basically you can set it to different thicknesses and it'll make the board that thick and it'll just take off a little bit of time. So what we're gonna do is plane out. This is rough sawn cedar, which means this has just been run through a sawmill and has had no planing, no finishing. So you can see a lot of the texture to it. You can actually tell this was a circular sawmill because it's slightly curved. A lot of sawmills now are band saws and they'll have straight cuts versus this has a lot of curve to it. So this was cut on a circular saw. Most of the time I use rough sawn cedar just like it is, but I'm gonna put these on here and I want them to all be the same. There's a lot of variants. These are cedar seconds. They're pretty rough. So I want these to all come out to the same thickness, and I've got a lot of variants in what boards I have left. So I'm going to plane these out and get them all to the same thickness, which will probably end up being around 1 inch, maybe down to 3/4 of an inch. We'll see how they turn out. Right now they're about 1.25 inches to 1 inch thick. So we'll see how they plane out. got a bunch of these planed out, so they're now nice, smooth, clean cedar boards, and they're all about 7/8 inches thick. So I'm gonna see, I think I've got about 10 or so here, but I think I'm gonna need some more. I'm just gonna start putting these on though, and then if we need more, we'll go pull some more out of the pile and plane them out. A lot of these are pretty rough boards, so they're not particularly clean on the edges and stuff because they're like number 2, so they're cheaper, but you don't get as much good boards out of them. So, but that works fine for me because I can do a lot of short pieces and stuff, because all I need is to go, I'm gonna do them vertical, so I'll go here to here. So I'll just cut the best pieces out of them and use those, and then go plane some more if we need them. All right, we're starting to get these cut down. So I got these cut at an angle, and they're just gonna go on here like this. And cedar splits really easy, so I've drilled pilot holes. I am gonna use screws just so long they don't start splitting really bad. It's just really easy to split cedar because it's a soft wood, and this is really dry, so it will split really easy. So I'm just going through, getting the best pieces I can out of them. We'll start putting these on and seeing what other lengths I need, and use as much of each board as I can that is good on that particular board.
Puppet doesn't want to stay in.
That's looking pretty good.
We got different times. No, it's the same time. He got 12? Yeah, but we use different. Daddy got these because these are using these different.
The going's been kind of slow, but we're making some progress. We've run out of boards once already, and now we're out of boards again. We still got all this on the back to do. This side's completely done. We still have all the front to do, but I think I've got enough. These boards are about an inch wider than the ones I'm using right now, so I'm saving these for the front. I think I've got enough here to do the front, but I'm out of boards to do this, so I'm gonna have to go dig through my pile. We've already dug through it a couple times, actually. I gotta find several more boards. I'm just running out of good cedar boards, but we'll find enough. All right, the front is done. So all I lack is finishing the back wall, but it's getting late and I'm hungry and supper's ready. So I'm gonna go eat supper and then I'm gonna try to come back and finish the walls on this tonight. I don't know if I'll get a roof on it, but there's a cold front coming in. It's gonna be down in single digits and below freezing for multiple days this week. So I'd like to get this done because some of the animals might like it. The dogs, the pups might like to get in here and stay warm. But we'll see if I get it done tonight. I'm getting tired. All right, time to get this thing finished. It's getting cold out there. Wind's picking up. Cold front's coming through tonight. I'm gonna get this thing done. I got all the doors closed now because it's getting cold. Back wall's done. All the walls are done. I just need to do the roof, but that's gonna wait till later because I don't feel like doing it today. I kind of want to do strips over all the little gaps, but I don't know if I'm going to. They're pretty tight. There's not much of a gap, but kind of the way a lot of old houses and stuff were built, they were usually wider. They're usually like 1x8 or 2x8s or maybe 10s roughs on, but then you put a strip, batten board. But I don't think I'm going to do that on this. Just too much time and they're pretty tight, so I don't think it's really necessary. But I think I'll wait till tomorrow, get some metal, cut it, put a roof on it, then we'll be done. This thing is heavy and should last a long, long time. All right, guys, time to finish up the doghouse. We got a couple pieces of this metal right here. So we're going to cut off what we need and use that for the roof.
Looks like it's going to turn out perfect. Now you need to screw it down.
We gotta go that way just a little bit. Not like that. That will work. All right, the doghouse is officially done. I don't know that the gray really goes with the cedar that well, but gray was what I had, so it's hard to beat free. And the cedar will end up looking really weathered eventually, like my shed over there. That is looking really gray, and that is all made from this same cedar. It just weathers and turns gray over time, so it'll look really good once the cedar turns gray. But we are going to have to get this out of the shop now. And it's too heavy to move, so I'm gonna have to go get the tractor and the fork so we can move this thing, and then we'll see how the dogs like it. Okay, we got it where we want it now. Perfect. I added this little thing earlier, just a little bit of an extra shelter on the front if they get sticking their head out and it's raining a little bit. So I think it turned out pretty good. a little overkill for a doghouse, but actually, if I need it, it'll function really good for sheep, goats, even pigs, kids, just about anything. It's a good little building. I just need about 3 or 4 more of these for all the different animals. That'd be all right. Maybe I'll build some more eventually. But we just need to test it out now and see if the puppies like it. Now, puppies are hiding out here in the shop building. They've already found themselves a warm spot and a blanket. Isn't that right? You want to go check out your new doghouse? I'll put this blanket in there for you. No, they're just going to sleep here with the goat. Come on, pup. You need some dog food? Look, here. I'll put it in here. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Goat likes it. Now I'm gonna knock your bowl out, aren't you? It might be a little big for them right now, but they'll grow into it. It won't take long. Hey, pups. Hey, goat. Whew, had to come out here end of the day. Put another bale of hay out for the cows. They scarfed that other one down. We still have snow out here. There's very few, but there's a couple patches, and it's been over a week since it snowed, and we got like 12 inches, which is possibly the deepest snow we've had here in my life, at least that I remember. I know we've had about that much before, but it's about the same, if not more, than we've ever had here. But just came down here to feed the sheep and the hogs and cows. Pretty much have to do this every day, at least for the sheep and the hogs. But with this cold weather, it is cold. My hands are freezing. I gotta find my gloves. It is cold, and it's not gonna get above freezing for several days. So we're gonna be breaking a lot of water. I gotta break this ice in here, but I got them some hay in their little shelter. They're doing good. Got the hogs some corn. They're liking their shelter. So everybody is comfy and fed, and that's what's important. So they'll keep growing so they can feed us one day. These ladies want some oats. I'll get you a little bit. Since it's so cold, I'll go get you some. Just a little bit though. Alright guys, well, time to wrap up the video. I'm calling it a day. Everything's fed, everything's got homes now. We're excited about the new dogs. We'll get one down here eventually to guard the sheep when it gets a little bit bigger. And the other one will probably stay over at the house and guard the goats and the chickens and kids and whatever we got over there. So excited about the new pups and seeing them grow, see how big they get. They're gonna get pretty big. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to work on the Suburban very soon. So hopefully we'll have some videos coming up on the solid axle swap here pretty quick. But I'm gonna wrap it up, call it a day, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.